Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome to a new game, Pokemon Crystal, where we are going to be playing Ecruteak City. This is turn 1. I'm assuming you've already seen a turn 0 video. So let's jump into things. In the beginning, there was chaos. So this is going to be a pretty quick turn as far as what we are actually doing, right? We are on the Pelliware map, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of discuss what our beginning opening moves are, what we're kind of looking for, and then we're going to go through enemy pretenders, who all's in the game, etc. Okay? So right off the bat, you're going to notice we are a death nation, so we have horrible scales except for luck, which does mean our income is gross. It's just disgusting, which is going to be a very big problem. I've probably already discussed most of this in the turn 0 video, but in case I haven't, I think Ecruteak City is a very underpowered city, and this is the third multiplayer game that I've played with this mod. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give the mod creator feedback, since I've been kind of like at the top of the game in the previous 2 games. I'm trying to play from what I expect to be a bad position. So we're going to kind of see what happens, okay? So we have very bad income. That's going to be an issue considering most of what we have, actually almost all of what we have, costs money, okay? So what are we doing this turn? We have an Awake Titan with a pretty aggressive Bless. Undead regeneration, luck, and recuperation. This is a Titan Bless. This is a, or not Titan, a Tartarian Bless. Okay, so that's the kind of point of it. The goal there is for Tarts. But this Titan is actually a pretty good expander. He can, because he is ethereal, he has invisibility, he has a 100% air shield, he has 6 Gengars, which are pretty damn good, and on top of that, he doesn't take advantage of the undead regeneration bless, but he does take advantage of the luck and recuperation bless. Actually, he doesn't, because he already has recuperations. He really just takes advantage of the luck bless. I should have probably just gone with the Oxus, but I didn't want to do that. So this guy can expand pretty well, but there are a number of things that if he expands into, he's dead. And we want to avoid that at all costs, so we're going to be careful to start with. So we're going to start him with researching, and researching, our target goal is enchantment 1, right? We want enchantment 1 because he'll tend to favor spamming animate skeleton, which can really help in battles. And then we're going to go construction 2, just to try to see if we can't get some items. Plus it gives us access to the schools, which have been debuffed. They are no longer as good as they used to be, but they're still useful. Okay. And then we're going to try to run up enchantment 5. We might make some pit stops for conjuration here or there, or thaumaturgy, but we'll see, okay? So, that's what our god Casper is doing. We are sneaking our kimono girl, one of our kimono girls, into Gol Amrod, which is a farmland right next to our capital. And we are prophetizing our starting commander. We have a little army. And we're gonna get like another 10-15 units off of free spawn next turn. This army, the free spawn that you get as Ecruteak City, is kind of a mixed bag. You might think, oh, ethereal units, you get so many of them, it's going to be great. Part of the problem is because we are playing, Ecruteak City has a pretty massive power swing depending on what type of, or which version of the mod you're playing. Because if you're playing with regular indies, it is extremely rare for regular indies to have magic weapons. and Ecruteak just rolls over them, builds these massive snowballs and just rolls right over them. If we were playing the version with the Pokemon indies, most of them have magic weapons, or a good portion of them have magic weapons. Maybe not most of them. But you are much more likely to just get obliterated as very frail ethereal units. Okay? So that's a concern. So we have to watch out for that. You might have noticed, though, that we are recruiting a blue channeler, which only costs 110 gold, and we have almost no gold. Why? We don't have anything else to spend money on. That's because we checked mercenaries, and the mercenary that came up is the Miracle Patrol. Now, this is just a small group of 10 Starmie riders, but right off the bat, and this is why we're doing a blue channeler rather than something like a white channeler. Blue channelers are amphibious, and they can head in water. So, right off the bat, if we are successful in getting the Miracle Patrol, and we take that blue channeler and put units on them, we could do a quick run of this little pond. We could do boom, boom, boom in turn 2, 3, 4. Now that's unlikely, honestly. It's more likely that we get Sea of Woe and then we fail in 23. It's possible that we get Sea of Woe and succeed in 23, and then it's very likely that we fail in 32. But if we are successful in taking this small pond, we establish a very fast border for ourselves, and we can look at heading up to 34, right? And framing this little section for us. And why this is important is because Throne of Ascension wise, we need 10 points to become the new god. Well, there are how many? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 thrones. 3 of which are right the fuck here. So, it's possible, and I think there's probably someone like right here, and probably someone like right here. Right, Pelawir is a pretty enclosed map, so it's not like these are going to be free for us. But I assume that we might be able to take command of these 3 thrones, depending on how our expansion goes. Now, like I said, we do have to be careful. There are things that can kill our Titan. There are things that can just demolish our ghost armies. But generally speaking, I've been able to reach about 20 provinces on expansion with this setup. Of course, adding in players into the mix and luck into the mix is going to change that drastically, right? But you never know. So we'll see how it goes. So that is the plan. If we are successful in getting the Miracle Patrol, then Weldon, this prophet, is probably just going to sit here for a turn or 2 more and wait for a new army, while our blue channeler heads off with the forces that they can hold. And double check this. Yeah, so they can lead 40 undead units, which is what we less than what we have actually. So, but we would take them into the Sea of Woe with the mercs as kind of this little front line, and we'll see how it goes, right? If we don't get the mercs, then we have a researcher, and we'll just start taking the land around us. No big deal. Okay, let's talk about who we're up against real quick. So pretender-wise, we're up against Pewter City, right? We have seen that from the last game, right? Pewter City can be quite good. It depends on the situation. Loverboy, the Rock Bull of Storms. I haven't taken a look at all of these and all of the changes and everything like that. We're probably going to experience a lot of the changes as we go. We've got Kitty Kitty Meow Meow, the Armor, Master of Stellar Lights, Patron of the Rich, King of Kings for Vermilion City, which we were bordered with last game, but we didn't really get much of. We've got Prophet, the Lord of Blood and Perfume, King of the Wildlife, Patron of Herbalists, Prince of Rivers. for Viridian City, and Viridian City is who we fought at the very beginning of last game, so we did not get to see much of them. I tried. I actually almost wanted to play Viridian City because I really wanted to try to make Cubones work, but they've got this Team Rocket. The Team Rocket debuffs are it's just stuff that I don't really enjoy. Like I don't like the like chaos power, adds like so many of their units add unrest, to the land, and I just we've got Malkin, King of the Breath of Life, Holder of the Windbag, the Far Traveler for Azalea City. Azalea City is actually, this was before I was recording, Azalea City is the first nation, the first Pokemon multiplayer game that I played. And I actually really like them. I think they're really good. They've got really good mages that can do some crazy shit. And their Butterfrees, by the way, the Butterfrees are some of the, I think, maybe the only natural Priest 3 champions in the mod. I think that might not be true, but I don't know. If not, they're one of the only ones. We got Your Dad, Prince of Plants and Trees, Lords of Flower and Spring, Second Breed Bull of Goldenrod City. And I haven't really seen anything out of Goldenrod City before, so this is going to be interesting to see how they kind of out. We've got me, Casper, Watcher of the Gallows, Warrior Against the Sun. We've got Om Nom 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 Nom, which is the God of Vegetation, Bringer of Abundance, the Peacemaker. This is Cyanwood City, the Port of Crashing Waves, which has gotten some buffs and debuffs since I have played them. Buffs in the line of making their Hitmon line more affordable, nerfing Machampions as some of the debuffs. Crusher Girls are actually a little bit better now because they actually have... Wait, they always have Tyro? I think they did. But there's some slight changes to Cyanwood City. I still think that they're strong, and I still think that they're kind of probably going to be a big deal in the game. But we'll see how it goes. We've got Lady Lynn, the Empress of Hot Steel, Healer of the Lands, Goddess of Spring and Eternal Youth, Great Goddess of the Earth. Here are the Steelix champions revamped. Still very expensive, still slow to recruit. 80 hit points instead of like 240, and severely weakened stats all together, and much lower Earth. I do personally think that this is a little too much down. I think they should probably have more paths or better stats, one or the other, right? But the Steelix champion has fallen quite far. See how that goes. And then a newcomer, right? This was not a nation that was available in the previous game. We have Mahogany City, the home of the ninjas, led by Theon, the Vessel of Might, God of Frost, God of Water, the Lover of War. So this is actually really interesting, I think. I'm hoping to see some fun stuff. This is another nation that I actually was interested in playing, but I ended up going with Ecruteak because I wanted to try to play a weak nation. So, those are the pretenders. Let's check our Thrones of Ascension real quick, just so we know what we're working with. We've got the Throne of Bureaucracy, which takes gold, but gives a whole bunch of Dominion spread, and gives order, with a conflict bonus. This actually doesn't really matter to us. I say that, probably it would be horrible because we're going to have very low gold, so 100 gold is probably going to be most of our gold. Actually, now that I say that, it's probably not going to matter, because pretty soon we're not going to have any income, and this is why we have Luck 3, because I think it might be the only way that the nation is playable right now, is we're going to rely on getting Luck 3 income events. That's the only way that we're going to be able to actually have money on the occasion. We've got the Throne of Life, which gives growth and nature gems. We've got the Throne of Death, which gives death and death gems. We've got the Throne of Fortune, which gives luck and astral. We've got the Inner Throne, which gives blood slaves, earth, and order. We've got the, oh, nope, I clicked that twice. We've got the Outer Throne, which gives magic and astral. We've got the Throne of Air, which gives air shield, 2 air gems, access to wind masters, which are okay if you don't have wind, right? And boost air ritual range by 1. We don't have great air access, so that actually wouldn't be bad for us. Silver Throne, which gives 100 gold per turn. This is actually probably the best throne that we could get, just because it's guaranteed income, basically. So that's pretty much it. Adepts of the Silver Order are awesome, you know. And then a Throne of Knowledge gives you Lore Masters and Sages. Sages are pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of Lore Masters, but they can break you in stuff if you're lucky. So we could get lucky, and this could be the Silver Throne right here. We'll see. That is the general layout of the game. This is, like I said, going to be a pretty simple turn. Not really much we can do. We'll see if we get the mercenaries, and we'll see what the next turn holds for us. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.